Okay, now we will see this chapter, social change. First, you have some theories of social change like Marxian theory, Durkheim theory, Parsons theory, Weber theory, Hegel theory. Apart from this, you have some cyclical theory, some dependency theory, other theories I will be doing after this. But all these theories we have done. What is Marx theory of social change? We have discussed about Marx theory of social change under Marx, right? Marx is talking about social change, and Marx is giving the idea of social change in his theory of mode of production, where he is discussing about 6 modes of production, starting from primitive communism to ancient mode of production to feudal mode of production to capitalism to socialism to communism. So this changes will actually happen through revolution when the mature condition exists through the process of class struggle. So that is a Marxian idea about social change. Do you have any problem in that concept, Marxian idea about social change? Because here we are not going to discuss those things that we have already covered in Thinkers. It is unnecessary waste of time. If you have any problem, I can discuss it here.
No, sir.
So we have already done this. What about Durkheim's theory of social change? Durkheim's theory of social change is again based on evolutionary model. So one of the similarity between Marx and Durkheim, the two similarities, there are two similarities. Can anyone tell me two similarities between Marx and Durkheim? Even though they are writing almost in the similar context, their interpretation, their understanding on family, religion, everything is different because both are using entirely different perspective. Durkheim is using a functionalist perspective, whereas Marx is using a conflict perspective. So their interpretation is totally different. But still there are two key similarities, especially when it comes to theories of social change.
Sir, both are moving from primitive to modern.
Yeah, both are using the concept of evolutionary perspective. Okay, that is the better sociological language. Both are using evolutionary perspective. In case of Marx also, in case of Durkheim also. And then both are giving importance to society. Both are macro sociologists. So these are the commonality between them. Now when we discuss about Durkheim's concept of social change, I'll simply show you in this diagram. You should be in a position to tell me which one is this. Okay. So what is this?
Organic and mechanical.
Yeah.
Organic solidarity.
So this is mechanical solidarity, organic solidarity. So traditional society was based on mechanical solidarity. Now the change is actually happening and it is moving towards organic solidarity. So you can explain what is mechanical solidarity, what is organic solidarity, what are the changes which is actually happening. All those things you can write. So that is what Durkheim's concept of social change. Do you want me to discuss it again?
No, sir.
So those things we have already done. There is no point in doing that. Okay, so actually in fact all the important theories are done, and my role now is basically to interconnect everything so that your preparation will be so simple. Now when we talk about Parsons' theory of social change, okay, so we have actually discussed about the concept of moving equilibrium, right? So we have talked about there are some specific mechanisms. Okay, this role of specific mechanism is basically to fulfill some needs, and this will bring equilibrium in society. Okay, and if this equilibrium break, if there is a disturbance, that is what? Social change. Then what will happen? Feedback will be there and society will adapt itself with the change. But when the social change is happening, for that we need to also talk about the cybernetic hierarchy of control. Cybernetic hierarchy of control. Okay, so what is cybernetic hierarchy of control? We talked about cultural system, social system, personality system, organismic system, right? And there is a energy flow, right? Energy flow from where? Organismic system. And information flow from where? Information flow from cultural system. So there is an energy flow, there is an information flow. Here there is an energy flow, information flow, energy flow, information flow. So if there is a problem or disequilibrium within the energy flow or information flow, there will be a break in equilibrium, and that lead to social change. So when the social change is there, that is what understood in terms of moving equilibrium. So Marx, Durkheim, Parsons, three important concepts we have done. Weber we understood in terms of Protestant ethic and spirit of capitalism, and modern day capitalism, traditional capitalism, rationality, all these are changed according to Weber. Now when it comes to Hegel, Hegel also, when we discussed about Marx, I have told you what is idea about Hegel. When we discussed about Marx, we have understood it as dialectical materialism, right? And three concepts related to dialectical materialism we separately discussed. The concept of, negation of negation, unity and conflict, etc. Different concepts we have discussed, but we compared it with Hegel's concept of dialectical idealism. See, dialectics are present. That means in terms of contradiction, that will lead to change because of ideas according to Hegel. So these new sets of ideas is what Hegel calls as thesis. Okay. Now the counter ideas will be there. For any idea, there will be counter idea. That will be antithesis. Okay. Now this put together will be the synthesis. Both will be taken into consideration. That is synthesis. And then again within the synthesis, again some new ideas will come. So that will act as the thesis. Then there will be antithesis, and then new synthesis will come. Like this, social change will be progressing. It is almost similar to Marx, but in case of Marx, it is a material condition. But when it comes to Hegel, it is the ideas. In case of Marx, it is a material condition. Why? Because economic infrastructure, and here it is social superstructure. So economic infrastructure only shapes what? Social superstructure. Why? For helping in the functioning of economic infrastructure. And ideas, feelings, emotions, religion, culture, education, everything comes in superstructure. So according to Marx, it is the economic infrastructure create ideas. So the ultimate reason for change is nothing but the economic infrastructure or the change in material condition. But Hegel, it is ideas. See, I have in detail I have written over here. You can go through this. Yeah, Hegel we have already covered, so I'm not getting into the details. Hegel, again there will be idea, that is what thesis, and it will be challenged by opposite idea, that will be antithesis, and merge them into the form of synthesis, and the synthesis then becomes the thesis, and the process begin over again. It will again become, then Marx theory we have already discussed, it is accommodated here. So what I'm saying is, in case of Hegel, there will be ideas and there will be counter ideas. So the ideas is what? The thesis, and this is the antithesis. Okay, so this will become the synthesis, that is the new society. And here also then new ideas will come, then again counter ideas will come. So this will become the new society, synthesis. From there again ideas and counter ideas will come. That will become synthesis. Like that the process will repeat. Okay, so the same concept is actually used by Marx, but instead of idea, Marx used the material conditions. Okay, so is there any doubt in any of these 5 theories? Apart from this, the cyclical theories and all are very simple. You will not face any problem over there. These are the key theories. Any doubt here? Now after this we will be discussing about some small theories are there, like cyclical theory, then Immanuel Wallerstein theory is there, development dependency theory is there. These are very simple theories. If you have any doubt here, we can discuss now.
Sir, can you explain that previous Hegel concept once again, sir? There was a network issue for me.
Yeah, Hegel concept, see what we discussed exactly in case of Marx, the same thing, but replace material condition with ideas. Hegel, what he's saying is, in the present society there will be contradictions, so there will be ideas. Okay, so in any case of ideas there will be counter ideas. So ideas are the thesis and this counter ideas are the antithesis. Okay, so both put together will become, both will be accommodated in the synthesis. So this will be the new society. And here also again the same process will repeat. There will be ideas, there will be counter ideas, and that means thesis and antithesis will come, that becomes synthesis. There also this process will repeat like this. That's what Hegel says. Almost the same thing what Marx also saying, but there it was in terms of material condition. So Marxian concept we understood in terms of 6 modes of production. We have discussed the concept of class struggle, we have discussed the concept of alienation. Everything has to be incorporated over there. It is a struggle, it is a revolution, mature condition exist, has to be there in your answer. When we discuss about Durkheim, you have to stress on organic and mechanical solidarity and explain the concept that we have learned in his theory of division of labor. Parson, you have to talk about moving equilibrium, you also have to talk about cybernetic hierarchy of control. Weber also we have done in the same way, Hegel also we have done in the same way. Any doubt in any of this? I'm expecting that this part will be over. This is the most important part. Now let's look into the actual idea. Here I've incorporated what are the agents of change. Okay, then you have some specific topics like education and social change, science and technology, social change, that is there in the end. Understanding the dynamics of social society has been the priority since the emergence of sociology as a distinct discipline. Okay, and Auguste Comte divided the scope of sociology. This is in fact our first discussion: social statics and social dynamics. Social dynamics means those changing things, but there will be certain things which will remain as static. In fact, Comte's theory also is coming there. You can read that. In the beginning, the dynamics of society was understood in terms of concepts like evolution and progress. So evolutionary theory you can see, okay. Evolution represents change from one stage to another, moving from simple to complex forms. Like in case of Marx, we are using the same, okay, and in case of Durkheim also we are using the same. Apart from that, you will see a lot of other thinkers also here. You can see evolutionary theories like linear theories. Comte is talking about theological, metaphysical, positivist stage. Apart from this, Spencer also talking about the same. Okay, so Spencer is talking about simple here. Simple, compound, doubly compound, trebly compound, again based on this evolution. So then Taylor is talking about animism, polytheism, monotheism. Morgan is talking about primitive, barbaric, civilized. All these are evolution. Tornes is talking about Gemeinschaft and Gesellschaft. This is nothing but the traditional society. This is nothing but the modern complex society. So here everybody will be equal. Here people will be different and very complex it will be. And then Hegel also talking about similar idea. Marx. So all these are evolutionary theories. Okay. So in the beginning, the dynamics of society was understood in terms of concepts like evolution. Okay, it is a directional concept. Okay, progress is a process of change in accordance to the desirable values in society. The notion of progress again different from different society. After First World War, the concepts like growth and development was frequently used in the context of emergence of welfare state. What is the difference between growth and development? When we talk about growth, we understand it in terms of quantity. So quantitative change you will try to see like GDP, per capita income, etc. What is development? This is a qualitative change. So here the well-being is what matters, the people well-being. Okay, so here quantitative, this is qualitative. So here growth, just in terms of numbers, here well-being is measured like poverty, unemployment, women empowerment, everything is there. So the indicators are also different. For example, if you use GDP or national income, etc. Here you use various indicators like net economic welfare, PQLI, okay, HDI, IHDI, GDI, MPI, multidimensional poverty index, GII, all these are GNH, gross national happiness, okay, global hunger index. So these are the different indicators which you use for development. Apart from this, now there is a concept of sustainable development. Okay, so here progress is okay. Growth represents change in terms of quantity, whereas development is a planned change towards desired objective. What are the desired objective? To remove inequality, to remove poverty, to remove hunger, to solve the problem of unemployment, solve the problem of inequality, etc. Social well-being is what matters over there. All these concepts were value loaded in one way or the other and denoted only specific instances of change. These concepts were unable to explain various dynamics like increasing crime, join to nuclear family change, etc. After Second World War, the concept of social change became popular, which was a value-neutral concept capable of accommodating in itself different types of changes in society. Social change is understood as any alteration in structure and organization of society. Okay, so social change means any alteration in the structure as well as organization. Theories of social change attempt at explaining different instances of development. So evolutionary theories, not only Durkheim, all those theories I have mentioned, okay, even Comte, Spencer, and apart from that Marx, okay, even Hegel also, okay, all those are evolutionary theories. Cyclical theories by Sorokin, conflict theory by Marx, and Marxian assumptions are followed by different other thinkers like Immanuel Wallerstein, Andre Gunder Frank. Okay, so different theories are there which is coming. Structural functional theory means Parson, mainly Parson, and Parsons' idea of cybernetic hierarchy of control. Apart from that, there is one more concept, evolutionary universals. Let me see, where is it? Yeah. First of all, system view of change is there. That is what we have actually discussed. A change is something which is restorative. Any disturbance in energy flow, information flow that leads to social change. So you can explain through moving equilibrium also. The evolutionary view of social change is there. So he is trying to understand in terms of 5 stages. Okay. So social change thus involves process of increasing differentiation, specialization, and adaptation. So Parsons' concept of evolutionary universal is actually this part of his social change. Okay. Apart from this, there are other theories of social change. This is not very much important for us. Out of this is very important, development and dependency, how the dependency culture is created, okay, like that. Determinist theories which try to locate the cause in single factor, theories explaining rate of change, okay, theories of modernization, explaining the process of economic, political and cultural modernization, theories of development dependency. This is where you will see the theories of Immanuel Wallerstein, Andre Gunder, Frank, etc. Okay, which locate universal dimensions and change. Dependency theories which explain the nature of developmental process going on in the world. See, nowadays there is a reverse dependency. Earlier, if let's suppose India was depending on US, but now US depending on India for many reasons, for markets and for cheap labor and for many things. Okay, so there is a reverse dependency. Now if you go for the next topic in your syllabus, that is agents of social change. Endogenous, that means within, exogenous, outside, or heterogenetic, orthogenetic. Endogenous and exogenous. Okay, exogenous. Okay, now what are the endogenous and exogenous? Okay, so these are the changes. Religion means within. What are the changes within? So religion you can substantiate here by Weber's theory. What is that theory? Protestant ethic and spirit of capitalism. Okay, so that is endogenous. Religion actually resulting or creating the social change. Then education, technology, welfare state, role of law. Law is actually acting as a social change. From within, there are some changes which are coming because of law. We can talk about Domestic Violence Act, how it changed the life of the female, Widow Remarriage Act. You can talk about Anti-Sati Resolution. All these are examples of law changing, resulting in change. Media. Okay. See, all these you need to explain. I'm just giving you the points here. Everything. Only in case of religion, you may face some problem that you can explain by using Weber theory. Education, in fact this answer is given towards the end. Education and social change, there is actually a separate topic. Science and technology and social change, there is also a separate topic. So when we talk about science and technology, advancement in technology, how it changed the life of female because of this washing machines, dishwashers, etc. The housewife role is actually coming down. So she is getting a lot of time, and that is giving enough mobility for female so that they can go out and they can take up other paid employment. Okay, so although a lot of scientific advancements are actually giving a lot of social change, that is there towards the end. Education, social change, you can write how it affected the caste relations, how it changed the Jajmani relations, everything you can write there. Okay, now role of law, you can talk about Anti-Sati Resolution. Okay, you can talk about Widow Remarriage Act, you can talk about female infanticide, ban on female infanticide, you can talk about Domestic Violence Act, how it changed the life of female, section 498. Okay, media, obviously. Then exogenous. Okay, exogenous means out from outside, heterogenetic change. Globalization brought a lot of changes. Migration, wars, emerging global issues, international organizations. So these are examples. Now within that I am dividing into post-independence and pre-independence. In pre-independence, what are the changes from within and outside? In pre-independence, endogenous means mainly within. What are the changes? Socio-religious reform movement. You can talk about Brahmo Samaj, you can talk about Pratana Samaj, you can talk about Arya Samaj, you can talk about Wahhabi, not Wahhabi movement. You can talk about Sayyid Ahmad Khan, what is that movement? Aligarh movement. Okay, so these are positive changes are bringing in. Freedom struggle, obviously have taken up the issues of peasants, taken up the issues of women, okay, and other social movements. That is the changes agents of change from within. Exogenous means colonial power, modern law, modern education. Like, they have introduced Maculum Minute, how it resulted in change, Wood's Dispatch, all those you can write. Modern law, there also you can talk about Widow Remarriage Act, Anti-Sati Resolution, various laws which were actually introduced by the British, wars. Then post-independence, in this endogenous, that means orthogenetic change, the welfare state, okay, created a lot of change. Democratic political system, media, education, law. Exogenous here is globalization, technology transfer, LPG, etc. Any doubt here? We'll see the theories of social change now. Other theories of social change apart from the 5 theories. Any doubts here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So in theories of social change, this linear theories that you can read, I'm not discussing that. Structural functional means mainly Parsons. This one, world system theory. Okay, so here they are actually using the concept of Marx, the extension of Marxian concept of dialectical materialism and class struggle. So world system theory stresses that world system, okay, that means should be like basic unit of social analysis. So the world as a system they are considering, and not individual or collective nation states, or not first world, second world, third world countries, etc. The world as a system they are considering, and extending the Marxian concept of dialectical materialism and class struggle. The most well-known version of the world system approach has been developed in the Emile Wallerstein in this book. Okay, this question directly like this was asked 2-3 times. Emile Wallerstein concept of, or the world system theory, they just ask you this only. The modern world system, essentially capitalist in nature, followed the crisis of feudal system. Like what Marx says, exactly the same thing. Okay, Wallerstein located the origin of the modern world system in the 16th century Western Europe and America, when feudalism was replaced with capitalism. Now the process of exploitation during colonial period produced a world system made up of core, semi-periphery, core, semi-periphery and periphery. So core means the most strong countries with whom everybody is depending on, and also they have all the power, like US, Europe, etc. And they are the main people who go for colonization. So this is core, the prominent ones, then semi-periphery and periphery. Okay, so he have divided into 3 categories. World system refers to international division of labor. Like when we normally discuss about it is between upper class, lower class. So here between these 3 there will be a division of labor, like upper class, lower class, and in between middle class was there. Similar to that, this semi-periphery is there. Okay, like in case of Marxian understanding, generally we talk about upper class, lower class and middle class. So here core, periphery and semi-periphery instead of this. But with time what will happen, like upper class, this will go to this or this. Similarly semi-periphery become core or this, and reverse, this way also it can come. Okay, the core can become semi-periphery also. Similarly this movement is possible. Like I'll show you here, core, semi-periphery, periphery. So here from here what is actually going, high profit consumption goods. So the manufactured products will go from here, manufactured products. So the periphery countries have to, like India and all, they will have to buy it from core countries. And from here what you get the cheap labor and the raw material. Okay, so this is what the role. Now this will happen, this can happen, that core can become semi-periphery also later with time, if some issues are actually happening with the core countries, so they can become the semi-periphery countries also. So that is what all written here, nothing more. World system refers to international division of labor in unequal terms. He developed the concept of core and periphery from the wider dependency theory. So that concept is actually there in this theory. You just need to read this concept. Andre Gunder Frank, he's talking about core and periphery concept. Just read that, it is very easy to understand. Core means those superior countries, periphery means those countries which are depending on the other country. That is the concept of development and dependency. So from there he actually borrowed the concept of core and periphery. Core forms the exploitative capitalist class at the global level, while countries may transit from core to semi-periphery and vice versa. Like I've shown you, that movement from core to semi-periphery when some issues are actually happening or due to war, etc., the developed may become part of semi-periphery. Okay, core countries focus on high skill, capital intensive production, and rest of the world focuses on low skill, labor intensive production and extraction of raw material. This constantly reinforces the dominance of the core countries over the peripheral countries. Economic exchange between core and periphery takes place on unequal terms. The periphery is forced to sell its product at lower prices, but has to buy the core's product at comparatively high prices. Like the raw materials will be taken away from the periphery countries, and also the finished products will be sold in the core by the core countries in the periphery countries. So there is a unequal trade is actually happening on. Okay, so the trade is actually happening in unequal terms. That you can see during, especially after 1813 Charter Act, in India also exactly the same thing is what actually happened. The trade in unequal terms, that will widen the trade deficit, and that also created a lot of problems. So that's about the world system theory.